ICE just deported 3 U.S.-born children ages 2, 4, and 7, and one of them had stage 4 cancer.
Horrible.
That's all that left-wing media outlets will tell you. But here's what they're not telling you.
Okay.
Their mother entered the United States illegally, then proceeds to have 3 children, the eldest being 7 years old. That means she was in the United States for at least 7 years and took no steps into becoming a U.S. citizen or a green card holder.
I wonder if Adam knows the process to get your citizenship. The process to be able to apply for a green card. It's easy to jump and say you had this many years, how come you didn't do it? As if there was an advantage to not getting your green card. As if people purposefully wanted to remain without proper documents. Oye esa mamada. Before I get started, my name is Señor Barragan. I'm a former principal, former teacher. I have multiple degrees, a master's degree. I am one of the many immigrants that Adam right here is demonizing. As I did come without proper documents, I'm a dreamer, a DACA recipient, but of course with indigenous ancestors to this country. And if you love immigrants, please support. Este batillo Adam Salinas, who I believe is of Mexican descent by the way, is bringing up the point over and over again that people have been here for many years and have not attempted to become US citizens. And I'm not just making that up. Here is an example of videos that he posted back to back to back.
ICE just detained a woman that was in the United States for 17 years and arrived at age 7. So you're telling me that in 17 years, your parents didn't try to get you papers. Your parents didn't try anything to save up for the American citizenship or residency green card in the United States.
How do you apply?
In the United States for how long, and you still have yet to start the process of citizenship?
Different video.
Please, if you can afford 3 quinceañeras, if you can afford your baby's baptism party, if you can afford a house, a car, all of these things that you can do without
a house,
you have no excuse to not have a green card or a citizenship in the United States. My Mexican family is going to hate me after this.
So he is
Mexican.
Mexican.
You've been living in the United States illegally for multiple years and you have yet to start the process of citizenship in the United States, and then you begin to cry that ICE agents are pulling up and putting people in vans. It is not ICE's fault that you lacked responsibility. And before you start with the excuses of, well, it takes money to do citizenship,
that's not the excuse.
And all of this stuff, it also takes money to put a quinceañera together.
Adam, my boy, you keep bringing up this point about the quinceañeras. You salty que no te invitaron a una o qué? Maybe he was a bad chambelán. And what do you mean that people can do without a car or a home? Solo falta que diga, I can't believe they spend their money on food instead of saving up for citizenship. Come on, dude. Really? Adam here is trying to make migrants seem like lazy and irresponsible, and that they are the servant of what's happening to them if they are getting picked up by ICE because they had opportunities to try and fix their status. But that's not the reality. But let me use myself as an example here, because y'all heard my accomplishments just a little while ago. And again, I've been in this country since I was 10 years old. I've spoken to dozens and dozens of lawyers. I have a perfectly clean record, and there is no viable pathway for me to apply for citizenship. And if somebody with my privilege and my accomplishments is not able to apply, what does that mean for other folks that didn't have the same opportunities as me? It's easy for people like este vato cara de pato to say, get in line. Do it the right way, when they have no idea that there is no right way for most people and that there is no line. Because once again, nobody wants to be in this country without proper documents. It's at the very least an inconvenience and at the most a hindrance on your livelihood. And I know, some folks are going to say that they should have applied for a work visa when they came here, but those opportunities unfortunately didn't exist for a lot of folks. And actually, many of the folks that are here without proper documents might have come here the right way, through student visas and overstaying them, amongst other things. But let's talk about the pathways that people can do, the ones that I am saying are not viable if they came here without proper documents. Because if it was just the money, that would be one thing, but that unfortunately is not reality. One pathway could be people applying through family-based immigration. If you have an immediate relative, that means you could apply. But if you entered without proper documents, if you don't have legal entry, it might be a barrier in the first place. People can also request humanitarian support, seeking asylum. Conservative folks will even call people seeking asylum illegal, despite that being a pathway that many folks can use. Unfortunately though, a lot of people are not eligible, don't have the documentation, or seeking asylum from your particular country is very difficult or impossible. Folks that are victims of crimes can apply for a U visa or a T visa in some cases. In order to apply, you need to help law enforcement, and that could put some people at risk. So even if they have been victims of crimes, they don't follow through on this out of their own safety. So this is not a viable pathway either. Another pathway is for folks that have been here before 1972. That doesn't apply to the people that Adam was demonizing at the beginning. And in the past, you could do military service, but we've seen too many horror stories of that actually not working out either. And of course, El Trompas announced the gold card that allows you to migrate to the United States if you have $5 million to invest in this country. And unfortunately, people seeking a safe place to live don't have that type of cash on hand. And that's it, Adam. Let me rephrase what I said earlier. Nobody wants to be in this country without proper documents. At the very least, it's an inconvenience. At the most, it's a hindrance on your humanity. To rephrase something that I said earlier one more time, all of the pathways that I mentioned are not viable. In order for people to apply for the U visa, they need to be a victim of a violent crime in the United States. Like, discúlpeme, that's the cost to be able to come to the US legally? A violent crime happening to you? Adam, you said you were Mexican. It sounds like you have family members that are here without proper documents, or else they wouldn't get mad at you for the comments that you were making. If you have proximity, you should understand that it isn't as easy as you make it sound. Let me say one final thing. Even if those migrants had access to pathways and they chose not to follow them for whatever reason, the folks that you mentioned in your videos do not deserve deportation as punishment, especially those children. I cut out this part, but in one of his videos, he says that the mother of the children that got deported had the option to let them stay with relatives here. Is that really an option? Because if you actually think that a mother could say yes to that, that's bien pinche loco way. The attack on humanity that we're witnessing right now, masked agents showing up at people's doors without warrant, picking up people just based on how they look, picking up people at courts while they're trying to do it the right way, agents covering their faces, not identifying who they are. All of that is gonna end up on the wrong side of history. And I know what side I stand on the side of humanity. Adam, what side are you on? Familia, como siempre, I have so much more that I have to say, but I'm gonna stop right here. Please let me know, what do you all think? Let's talk about it.